Hello everybody, welcome to The Book Club. This video gives the summary of the book, The Psychology of Money. The Psychology of Money is a book by Morgan Housel that explores the complex relationship between humans and money. The book is structured around 19 short chapters, each one exploring a different aspect of the psychology of money. 1. No one's crazy. In this chapter, Housel argues that everyone's relationship with money is unique, and that our personal histories can strongly influence how we manage money. He emphasizes that it is important to recognize that no one is crazy for the way they think about money, and that money is more about behavior than it is about finance. 2. Luck and risk. In this chapter, Housel explores the role of luck in financial success. He points out that while we often attribute success to personal skill and effort, luck plays a much larger role than we might think. By acknowledging the role of luck, we can avoid the trap of assuming that our own financial success is solely due to our own abilities. 3. Never enough. In this chapter, Housel discusses the idea that humans have a natural tendency to always want more. He argues that this drive for more can be both positive and negative when it comes to money. On one hand, it can motivate us to work hard and achieve financial success. On the other hand, it can lead to a never-ending cycle of wanting more money and material possessions, which can ultimately leave us feeling unsatisfied. 4. Confounding compounding. In this chapter, Housel emphasizes the importance of saving and the power of compound interest. He argues that the key to accumulating wealth is not high-risk investments, but rather a consistent savings habit. 5. Getting wealthy versus staying wealthy. In this chapter, Housel explores the concept of financial freedom and what it means to different people. He argues that financial freedom is not about having an unlimited amount of money, but rather having enough to live the life you want without being dependent on a paycheck. 6. The seduction of pessimism. In this chapter, Housel discusses the natural human tendency towards pessimism when it comes to money. He argues that people often focus on worst-case scenarios and are overly cautious when it comes to investing, which can lead to missed opportunities. 7. When you'll believe anything. In this chapter, Housel explores the concept of financial scams and why people fall for them. He argues that scams are successful because they tap into people's emotions and desires, and that anyone can be susceptible to them. 8. Freedom. In this chapter, Housel discusses the concept of freedom and what it means in the context of money. He argues that financial freedom is not just about having enough money to live without a paycheck, but also about having the freedom to make choices and pursue your passions. 9. Man in the car paradox. In this chapter, Housel explores the idea that people often judge their own wealth and success based on what they see others around them have. He calls this the man in the car paradox, referring to the fact that people often feel poor when they see someone in a more expensive car than their own. 10. Wealth is what you don't see. In this chapter, Housel emphasizes the importance of understanding the hidden costs of financial decisions. He argues that people often focus on the visible costs of things like buying a home or car, but fail to consider the hidden costs such as ongoing maintenance and repairs. 11. Save money. In this chapter, Housel discusses the importance of saving money and building a financial safety net. He argues that having savings gives people the freedom to take risks and pursue opportunities, as well as providing a sense of security in case of unexpected events such as job loss or illness. 12. Reasonable, rational. In this chapter, Housel emphasizes the importance of making reasonable financial decisions rather than purely rational ones. He argues that humans are not purely rational creatures, and that emotions and biases can influence our financial decisions. 13. Room for error. In this chapter, Housel discusses the importance of leaving room for error in financial decision-making. He argues that unexpected events are inevitable, and that it is important to build in a margin of safety to account for them. 14. You'll change. In this chapter, Housel emphasizes the fact that people's financial priorities and goals can change over time. He argues that it is important to be flexible and open-minded when it comes to money, and to be willing to adjust goals and plans as circumstances change. 15. Nothing's free. In this chapter, Housel explores the idea that there is no such thing as a free lunch when it comes to money. He argues that everything has a cost, even if it is not immediately apparent. Housel emphasizes the importance of being aware of the hidden costs of financial decisions, such as fees and taxes, and making informed choices that take these costs into account. 16. The seduction of pessimism. In this chapter, Housel explores the seductive nature of pessimism and how it can impact financial decision-making. He argues that people are often drawn to pessimistic views of the future, which can lead them to make overly cautious or fearful decisions with their money. 17. When you'll believe anything. In this chapter, Housel discusses the idea that people are often susceptible to believing in things that are too good to be true, particularly when it comes to money. 18. The second-order consequences of everything. In this chapter, Housel emphasizes the importance of considering the second-order consequences of financial decisions. He argues that every action has a ripple effect, and that it is important to think beyond the immediate impact of a decision and consider the long-term consequences. 19. The stories we tell ourselves. In this chapter, Housel explores the power of stories in shaping our perceptions of money and financial decisions. He argues that people often rely on narratives or stories to make sense of complex financial situations, and that these stories can influence their decision-making. The Psychology of Money offers valuable insights and lessons that can help you achieve greater financial security and success over the long term. Hope you people enjoyed the video. Please find the buying link of the book in the description. Please subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified. Happy reading!